You're going to want to understand what the upfront fees are. Now, I'm going to recommend any of you that are going to get into this business, don't use your personal money for equity. Use your personal money for operational purposes. Use your money to, pay the upfront fees for the loans, to put the deals together, to pay for the due diligence. Bring in investors to do the deals. If you find the deals, you'll find the money. I mean, I just brought somebody into my coaching program with $9 million, and the only reason he joined was to have access to my students to joint venture on deals. There's so much money out there right now. So, focus on finding the deals. Focus on immersing yourself in this business and learning this business, because it's a fantastic business. And let me tell you, we're heading into a contraction. I mean, it's not if, it's when. It's going to happen. Kiyosaki's been quoted as that it's already started, but it's coming. And there will be exponential opportunities in multifamily real estate if you get up to speed now, so you're poised and ready to jump when the market contracts. I mean, I've interviewed people on my podcast that started in 09 and 10 that have thousands of units right now, because they were able to get bank repos. They had some cash and they had the connections. They built up a list. They've gone out, found investors, and built up that network, and went out there and somebody stood still long enough, talked about how excited they were about real estate, did an elevator pitch, and told them what they're doing, and they were poised, ready to go. So learn this now, so you're ready to go when that happens. Me, I was, in a foxhole with my hands over my head, trying to recover and lick my wounds in 08 and 09 because I was being crushed. But otherwise, I would have capitalized on it. So don't miss that opportunity. Okay, loans. Let's talk about due diligence for a second. So the way commercial real estate works, if you don't know, residential, you put a property under contract, you'll have a financing contingency typically. You might have a weasel clause that's, you'll have an inspection period, but and then you inspect it, and if you don't like it, you can back out or you make requests. In commercial, it's similar but different. In commercial, you'll put a property under contract, and then you'll have what's called a due diligence period. And in that due diligence period, you will have typically 30 days, and even in this hot market, sometimes it's quite a bit less than that even now, just to be competitive, before your money's at risk, before your money goes hard, they call it, okay? And during that 30 days, you're going to go check out the property, you're going to go check the leases, you're going to go check the contracts, you're going to have it inspected and all these other things. Well, if you're looking at lots and lots of properties to find that one deal, and you find that 25 unit Ocala, for example, and you've looked at 100 properties, and this thing looks right, and it checks off all the boxes, and you're excited, and you get it under contract, and you're cartwheeling the whole way home. Well, at that very moment, you need to take a deep breath and put on the hat that says, why do I not want to do this deal? And it is a real mindset shift that you must make. See, as human beings, when we make a decision, it's human nature to look for reasons to bolster that decision, to support that decision, to substantiate that decision, because we want to be right. You can't do that here. You have to take a shift. Now, let me give you an example. I have a 5-person acquisition team, and I've got 2 young guys on that team, James and William. And James is the one that manages my virtual assistants. He did those screen share videos in my course. Did a great job with it. They're both young, in their early 20s, and they're both very hungry. They get incentivized if they find a deal. They get equity if they find a deal. They are hungry, okay? In fact, visualize them as a couple of Dobermans with slobber coming out of their mouth over here, okay? That's James and William. Now I've got a Robert. Robert's my CFO. He's a CPA. He's done $100 million worth of multifamily deals. He could possibly be the most boring guy on the planet. I hope he doesn't do this. But he's brilliant. Okay, now visualize him with a bucket of cold water that he regularly throws on those 2 Dobermans. Okay. The point in this is you guys have to wear both those hats, okay? And you have to make that mindset shift. All right. The last piece here that I'll chat about is.
Any questions?
Well, okay, yeah, I actually have one other thing I can add too. Property management. When you're talking to property management companies, you want a whole list of questions and stuff, and there's some good ones in my book. But a couple of high-level ones that I want to point out to you One is, if you're buying properties under, say, 50 or 60 units, if you're 70 units or higher, you have your own on-site maintenance person, so this doesn't come into play at this particular point. But if you're under 50 units, for example, you're going to rely on their maintenance infrastructure, okay? You're going to rely on their contractors, maybe they've got their own maintenance staff, and maintenance can be a real profit center for a management company, okay? And, for example, they can hire somebody for 20 bucks an hour and bill them out for 75. So you want to dig into that, okay? Ask the questions. Do you upcharge the contractors? Do you have your own maintenance staff? What do you charge for each little piece? And just really dig into that so you don't get taken advantage of. And most of the property management companies are very scrupulous, but they've got to make money too. But you want to dig into that so you don't get taken advantage of. That's number one. Number two, there are some great property management companies out there that have not embraced technology, okay? You need to check their digital dinosaurs, but they're good property management companies. You want to check their mobile website. If you've got your 25 unit, can they drive up, can somebody, a millennial, pull up in the front of it, go on their phone and see floor plans? Can they see a virtual tour? Can they apply for a unit online? Because if they can't, you're going to lose them, okay? And you're eliminating, gosh, in this day and age, I mean, look around, everybody's got a phone in their hand, probably 70% of the people. So make sure they've got a good online presence.